This is Joshua Jones, who is in an Aiken County court for murder and illegal possession of firearms. On January 28, 2012, the 26-year-old shot and killed Master CPL Sandra Rogers while she was responding to a report of suspicious activity at Eustis Park. Hours before Jones killed Rogers, he shot and killed his 21-year-old pregnant girlfriend, Casey Weiss. The cop killer is being charged with murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime.
You do not understand the law that you're charged under. I'll be glad to explain the law to you. You have a charge of possession of a weapon during a violent crime and also a charge of murder. Do you understand the charge of possession of a weapon during a violent crime?
Yeah.
On that charge, if you're found guilty, it can carry a sentence of up to 5 years and/or a fine in the discretion of the court. Do you understand the law pertaining to murder?
Yeah.
During court proceedings, the 26-year-old, who was not a fan of questions, responded to the judge's questions with a puzzling display.
Do you have the income to hire an attorney on your own?
Does it look like it?
I don't know, sir. I don't have any idea. Do you want me to screen you for an attorney?
No.
Can I hire your own?
I don't need one.
Jones continued showing his teeth to the judge and went full wolf mode when she tried to ask another question.
Do you want to be screened for an attorney?
I don't care.
Mr. Jones. You state at this time you are currently unemployed. I am going to pre-qualify you for a court-appointed attorney. Someone from the public defender, Mr. Jones, someone from the public defender's office will come over and speak with you about your case.
Jones was tried and found guilty. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with no chance of parole. In this next case, a man on trial attacks another man in court for no reason. This is David St. John, who is in a Houston court for sexual assault. On the 25th of January 2021, John drove a 16-year-old girl to a Northwest Harris County hotel room and had multiple sexual acts on her without consent. He is charged with aggravated sexual assault of a 16-year-old girl and felony possession of a weapon. During court proceedings, John's sudden display of violence sent the courtroom into meltdown.
La sala de audiencia.
After you sign the order.
Did you know you lasted?
Okay, hit the panic button. Call someone.
What was I?
Sit down, man. Sit down.
You learned your lesson. Hey! I'm fine. What was that? No, you need to learn your lesson so you don't end up like me.
Get up. Get up. You need to learn.
We don't have a panic button.
I don't have one over here.
I did that for young good, son. Don't end up like me.
I'm not.
Hey, all right. Sit down. Lock him up. That's a problem.
The 41-year-old was sentenced to 2 separate 25-year prison terms.
Let me go.
This is Latasha Williams, who is in a Clark County District Court for child endangerment and kidnapping. The 36-year-old woman allegedly threatened 2 children and was recommended for mental evaluation. After 2 failed mental evaluations, Ms. Williams was set to appear in court. She is charged with 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping and 2 counts of child endangerment. During court proceedings, Ms. Williams had some explaining to do.
Epileptic, and there were 2 appointments that were made. I missed the first one because they didn't want to provide the second one that I missed, it was scheduled for 12 o'clock. He said that the appointment was for 11 o'clock. That day I had a seizure. I had a young man that sat there and watched me while I had a seizure. And then on the 18th, on the Friday, I went to her office and I called her office. She said, I don't have a receptionist in the office. And she has not been. Okay.
Oh, so it wasn't her?
No, so how do we call that?
You didn't get a dishonorable discharge. She didn't get a dishonorable.
Okay, because I didn't see anything
Yeah,
like
she didn't.
that.
It was merged with the other ones. Okay, so you had an appointment, you had seizures.
So I had a seizure. Somebody watched me. She said that the appointment's for 12 o'clock, and then she said it was scheduled
11.
So what I did was I went down there on the 18th to meet with her to see whether or not she was seen, because I needed to see a psychiatrist. I really did. I needed to see a psychiatrist because I had already saw the psychologist, Susan, Dr. Susan, who had declared me competent. So they're saying they needed to reach out.
The judge, not falling for that fable, scheduled Ms. Williams for another evaluation. Her response tore the piece of the room into two.
She's remanded into custody, and Christina, get somebody else to do the, other than Bradley, to do the evaluation.
And how long will it take?
What do you think? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. As soon as she's, because we have Sussman, right?
You have an evaluation.
Okay, so we've got the Sussman eval.
Hold on a second.
Yes, you are.
Let me go. I got kids and responsibilities.
Come on.
Fuck y'all. Let me go. No, let me
Oh,
let me go. Let me go.
I pressed the button.
I was going to, but
I never pressed the button before. Everybody, clear the courtroom. Go tell them.
I've had 12 evaluations. That should be enough to satisfy the court's argument. Why do these trifling judges?
You got 20
Get my purse.
No, chef. You got it.
Slide in, push it by accident.
I'm going for a
Thieving ass motherfucker.
All right? Yeah.
As chaos erupted in the courtroom, the 36-year-old woman was dragged away, her cries echoing through the hall.
Respect her own goddamn. Sorry, bitch. I complied. Did you comply? Did you keep your word? Did you? Were you a woman of your word? Did I not see 3 psychologists? Have I not showed up 30 times? Yes or no? Swear before God. I bet you can. Compulsive liar. You gonna break my arm?
Ms. Kazemka, I think it's clear your client needs an evaluation. Oof. Okay. Were you hurt? Were you hurt? 2 weeks? Well, Christina's gone. I would think that. Two weeks.
April 5th, 9:30.
If I was everybody, I would just kind of.
Ms. Williams remained in jail after her outburst in court. This is Jamie Osuna, who is in court for murder. On November 13, 2011, Osuna murdered Yvette Pena, a mother of 6, in a Morocco hotel in Bakersfield. He is charged with first-degree murder. During court proceedings, his confessions brought a cold chill to the courtroom.
I had her like one time, then I came back the next night, and I seen opportunity. No one's there. You know, the Morocco motel is, they got a lot of parolees right there that parole there's. A lot of people who do drugs, so if they're screaming and yelling and stuff like that, no one's gonna call the cops. Did sadistically, premeditatedly, deliberately tortured and murdered Yvette Pena. This wasn't the first time in my life that I've committed these heinous acts. Since I was a kid, 8, 9 years old, I've killed animals. My mom would go to the store, I'll put the cat in the freezer. 15 minutes, let it out, put it in the oven, let it out, you know, stuff like the torture and all that. It's more of a trying to get a rush. It's a rush, it's an addiction, it's a drug. I would rather do that than do drugs. I'd rather do that.
During the trial, he showed no remorse and even gave the judge a thumbs up sign. The psycho killer was sentenced to life without parole. On March 9th, 2019, while serving time, Osuna beheaded his cellmate, 44-year-old Luis Romero, and made a necklace out of the deceased body parts. He also used the blood of his victim to write "ha ha ha" on the prison walls. When questioned about this gruesome act, this was what he had to say.
I don't have no sympathy. I'm sadistic. I really don't care. I'll do it and I'll do it again over and over and over.
Osuna was transferred to the psychiatric inpatient program at Salinas Valley State Prison. This is Alan Miller McCaddy, who is facing charges for making a death threat to a judge. Alan McCaddy called Volusia County Dispatch on September 29, 2017, to threaten Circuit Judge Stacia Warren, who ruled against him in a child custody dispute. Alan stated on the call that he had a gun pointed at the judge's building and threatened the judge would die for sabotaging people's cases.
Communications, Warhurst.
Yeah, I want to report a crime that's about to happen.
What do you mean a crime that's about to happen?
Yeah, there's about to be a crime that's going to happen if my kids don't come back to me, you stupid because your stupid judges don't want to bring people to courtrooms. I got a gun pointed at your building.
Sir, what is going on?
Who the you calling, sir, you stupid? Where's your Judge Warren at? You going to bring that out in handcuffs and I'm going to execute that son of a right in the street. I'm letting you know I'm going to shoot this. You gonna give me my kids.
Where are you at, sir?
I just told you I'm outside of her building waiting for her to get there in the morning. I'm going to pop tapping that you stupid.
Following this 911 call, analysts in the Volusia County Crime Center determined the audio matched the previous recordings of Alan's voice. The Santa Rosa Sheriff's deputies arrested Alan and booked him into the Milton jail. However, Alan's arbitrary behavior continued towards the judge in his court appearances.
Number one, I need to know whether or not you want to be here during the trial process.
No.
All right, do you want to testify though?
No, I don't. This is all being done unconstitutionally, unrightfully. Y'all are you ain't allowing my evidence. You ain't allowing my people. My daddy owns the building and I look like a idiot, huh? Brought your dress today, you little prick. You want to take my kids from me and act like that? You in that? You louder than me? Is that what you're going to do?
No.
Well, then do it again. Come on. Shut the up. I'm trying to think over here.
This disruptive behavior made the judge presiding over the case, Matt Foxman, order him to be removed from the courtroom. The court found Alan guilty of threatening to kill a judge and a pair of dispatchers. Then moving on to the sentence, Alan displayed his usual erratic scene in the court.
Threatened the unborn child of the prosecutor directly and openly.
What a bunch of you stupid piece of
Then also
You threatened my life, you
in the
you
back room.
Suck my
Even while being dragged to the back room, Alan continued with his threats.
No, I'm not standing up. Resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up. I'm not standing. I don't have to stand. I hope you fall on that baby's head, you stupid never threatened that bitch. Bring play back the shit, you stupid mother.
The judge tried to continue with the hearing, but Alan didn't relent with his disturbance.
Get out! Get the out of here! Don't you pull on me! Get out! I'll get up, you mother. Don't be around! I'll here. What you gonna do? You wanna hit me? Well, get that
The judge sentenced Alan to 20 years in prison and also issued an additional 10-day sentence for Alan's disruptive behavior in court. In this case, a convict with a record of outbursts in courtrooms comes face-to-face with a taser gun. This is Percy Phillips, who is in a Louisville court for retaliating against a witness. In 2002, Phillips was accused of assaulting and robbing a homeless man. During the 2002 trial, the defendant threatened a police officer who had given damaging testimony. He is charged with multiple felony charges for threatening a prosecutor and witnesses. During court proceedings, the courtroom grew tense as the 45-year-old's lawyer questioned his client's state of mind.
Jay Lambert, on behalf of Mr. Phillips, Your Honor, he's present and seated next to me.
A hearing is underway to determine if 45-year-old Percy Phillips is competent to stand trial. Phillips is accused of retaliating against a witness inside the courtroom during a previous trial.
And it would be our position that Mr. Phillips is presently incompetent to stand trial. If we end up in trial, there is no way I can competently even frame a defense. I have asked Mr. Phillips, what do you want me to say or do at your trial? And he won't tell me. He literally, for years, has not said a word.
Knowing the darkness his client could unleash, the lawyer ended his opening statement with a chilling warning.
Mr. Phillips has shared that he doesn't know exactly what he'll do in certain situations in the courtroom. He thinks he just may explode.
The next statement given by the prosecutor was a tipping scale in an already tense courtroom.
Your Honor, it's interesting to remember that at the conclusion of the case, when the defendant was unhappy with the verdict and unhappy with the sentence, he threatened the police officer who testified against him.
Phillips, who until that moment had shown no emotion, suddenly snapped.
David 16 to 239. I had to stun Percy Phillips. You want to come on up?
Phillips was later deemed incompetent to stand trial and the indictment was dismissed. In this next case, a father who caused untold pain to his son claims he is innocent. This is Eric Penland, who is in court for child abuse. On March 2017, Penland violently shook his then 3-month-old son, causing the child to go blind and deaf. He is charged with 2 felony counts of child endangering, 1 second-degree count for abusing the boy, and a 3rd-degree count for failing to seek prompt medical attention for him. During court proceedings, Penland made the court shiver with his claims of innocence.
Nothing prepared us for the screaming. Hours and hours of screaming. For the rest of his life, Eric will rely on others to bathe him, dress him, change his diapers, feed him, administer his pain medications.
I would submit to the court that this entire record is absolutely devoid of any remorse by the defendant.
I've been falsely accused. I've been wrongfully convicted.
After receiving his sentencing, Penland had some beautiful parting words for the judge.
Man. I didn't do anything wrong, man.
The child abuser was sentenced to 11 years behind bars. This is Jeffrey Clark, who is facing a Macomb County court for murder. On July 4th, 2022, Jeffrey Clark got into an argument with Jeray Robertson at a parking lot. The matter escalated, leading to Clark shooting Robertson to death. Reports stated that Clark, along with a woman, Tamara Scott, chased Robertson in a car into the city of Fraser and killed him. The shooter was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. During the court proceedings, another woman who had romantic ties to both men had chilling revelations to make.
He proceeded to tell me that he would kill me if I told on him. He told me exactly what he did to Mr. Robertson. He told me that Mr. Robertson begged for his life, and that the only thing he was worried about was that he was on tether.
The CCTV footage of the shooting was then played in the courtroom with the family of Robertson present. With emotions running high, the twin brother of the deceased decided it was time to show Clark what pain tasted like.
Man, they gonna see you. You don't hit him. Man, I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Order was eventually restored to the court after Robertson's brother was handcuffed and sat in the courtroom. Clark, on the other hand, was finally convicted for murder and was denied bond. Tamara, who had been charged with 1 count of accessory to a felony, had her bond set at $2,000. After the hearing, one of the attorneys could not believe the events that had just unfolded.
It's an emotional case. I mean, obviously we have an individual who was shot repeatedly. We have members of the victim's family, the defendant's family were present, so it's no surprise that emotions are involved. It's unfortunate that they decided to let those emotions unleash in the courtroom.
In this next case, we will be looking at a serial criminal who couldn't catch a break and seems to have luck on his side. Will his lucky streak continue? This is Christopher Dominguez, who is facing an Albuquerque district court for violating his probation while at a treatment facility. Dominguez violated his probation by taking prohibited Suboxone while at the treatment facility. The judge was no stranger to the elusive criminal, as he had managed to escape a lengthy jail time in the past, and had some words for him.
It's as if there's something else going on here that we need to take a look at and find out what treatment is appropriate for you.
Feeling remorseful, Dominguez made an admission before the court.
I didn't mean for this to happen. The drug was there and I kept saying no, and I was tempted, and finally I gave in, and I was wrong, and I'm just sorry.
After reviewing the evidence against the elusive criminal, the court felt compassion and decided that a 60-day diagnostic evaluation would help change the serial criminal and put him on the right path. How wrong they were. A year later, Dominguez found himself yet again in an Albuquerque district court on numerous car theft charges.
He'd like a chance to prove that to you by coming back out onto a short term of probation.
She had played the victim card some months back in a similar case that involved her client.
I know we've heard the words last chance before, but that's what I'm asking for this time, is just one final and truly last chance.
Following his counsel, Dominguez also put on a nice guy persona for his statement.
I want to change my old way of living and have a promising future. Thank you for your time, Your Honor. Respectfully, Christopher Dominguez.
The judge, sensing the charade Dominguez and his counsel had put on display for the entire court, decided to put the facts straight with her final judgment.
Given a deal, I think 6.5 years for this many cases is a great deal. And that's the benefits you're getting out of it. So take advantage of it. Good luck. Thank you.
Realizing his luck with avoiding prison had run out, Dominguez dropped his nice guy act and erupted in front of the judge as he was escorted out from the court. Luckily, the judge didn't add an extra year to his sentence for contempt of court. While Dominguez might have enjoyed a field day with Mother Luck, the next convict had to settle for a mother's wrath. This is Frank DeLeon Jr., who is in a Houston court for murder. In January 2022, 19-year-old DeLeon shot his then 16-year-old girlfriend, Diamond Alvarez, 22 times while she was walking her dog in southwest Houston. Alvarez had discovered that her partner was cheating and had agreed to meet at a park to iron things out. The 19-year-old is facing a single charge of first-degree murder. During the court hearing, Ana Machado, the mother of Alvarez, after giving her statement, made a move toward her child's killer, but was met by a roadblock.
You take my daughter, not to hurt my daughter.
Seeing a chance to make a move, Diamond's uncle crept past officers and rained hell on Frank. While court officials tried to restrain the enraged man, Machado tried to offer aid but was met with yet another roadblock. In the ensuing chaos, the murderer's mother suddenly became the target of an unknown assailant in red. The vengeful uncle, who was now restrained, had some last words for his niece's killer as he was whisked out of the courtroom.
Crazy.
Everyone take a seat. Take a seat. Step up. Order in the corner. Take a seat. Take a seat.
After the order was restored, the judge sentenced the 18-year-old to 45 years behind bars and was only eligible for parole when he had done half of his total sentence. After the court proceeding, Machado had some words to say.
It was wrong of me. That was wrong of us because we're not monsters. But it's so much hate because I want my daughter back. And what he did it was horrible. Seeing my daughter there and looking at him that he did that and he's laughing in my face. It was very wrong and I'm so sorry for that.
In this next case, the convict was only concerned about how he looked in his mugshot.
Stipulating that Mr. T.
This is Christopher Teal, who is facing a King County court in Seattle for rape charges. On the 14th of May, 2018, Teal was accused of following a 40-year-old woman into the restroom of a car dealership and doing unspeakable things to her. The 26-year-old who had locked the restroom door was later discovered by the car dealership staff. Teal is facing severe charges of first-degree rape and unlawful imprisonment. During court proceedings, the sex crime offender stood in front of the judge. But what happens next is anything but ordinary.
Standing from his counsel, who I'll defer to in a moment, that they are now stipulating that Mr. T.
Get down! Face down! Face down! Put your hand on your face! Put your hand behind your back now. Put your hand behind your back.
Exactly as I'm told. You don't have to tell us anyone's name, sir. Anything you cause it because you want to.
Hold on.
It's true.
It's old. Bring the chair. Bring the chair.
We'll get the chair.
After guards confirmed the lawyer was all right, the naughty offender was whisked out of the courtroom with a spit hood on his head.
Good job.
All right, get up. Stand up.
How that hurts, you don't have to do that.
Still recovering from the shock, the lawyer withdrew from the case and decided not to place charges, while Teal had a $1 million bond placed on his head.
Regarding the Christopher Teal matter.
No.
Okay. I have a question though. Are you running a diminished capacity or insanity or anything of that nature?
I don't have anything to talk about.
2 weeks later, Teal made another appearance in court, this time in a strap chair. During court proceedings, he noticed something was off and had some questions for the judge.
I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. Because that was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
All right.
So you're on a legitimate question. Like, do they have access to Google?
The case was forced to be rescheduled by the judge, as the defendant's continuous complaints and outbursts in the last court session proved too much, even before the proceedings had begun. In this next absurd courtroom moment, this teenage girl charged her parents to court. Sean and Elizabeth Canning are in the Morris County Courthouse, New Jersey, for allegedly refusing to pay their daughter's tuition. Their 19-year-old daughter, Rachel Canning, took them to court with the help of her friend's family. She had been living with them for 4 months after she alleged her own family kicked her out. Rachel's parents argued that she left on her own and therefore they cannot be responsible for her bills. Sean and Elizabeth Canning are facing charges of abandonment and neglect. During court proceedings, both parties tendered their cases.
I believe that she is a vulnerable young woman and her parents aren't taking care of her, and I'm asking the court to help her in this very difficult situation because they have constructively abandoned her. And I believe that they are being negligent and irresponsible.
These statements that they don't want to help her and they've left her on the street are so dramatic. There's no reason she couldn't come home to her household in her private school and her new car, but she didn't want to give up the boyfriend.
Great, thank you very much, counsel.
The judge shared some concerns about Rachel's past.
They raised several issues, and obviously several mistakes have been made. The young lady who is in court has an alleged history staying out during the week from 12 to 1 o'clock, drinking. She brought home one night by a male friend's parent at 3 o'clock, intoxicated, school suspensions, was stripped of her captaincy as a cheerleader, was removed from the campus ministry.
The Teens Council admitted that her private school was in on the whole thing.
They have been behind this move because they see and they know that what's going on in the Canning household is not good for Rachel.
After listening to the audio evidence presented to him.
You're a real winner, aren't you? I really just want to all over your face right now. Anyway, I hate you. Have a nice life.
The judge had some stern words for the teen rebel.
Have you ever seen a young adult, child, whatever we want to call Rachel, show such gross disrespect for a parent? The words that were used in a voicemail to her mother? Maybe you have.
It's not right.
I don't see it in my house.
I'm not exactly, you don't see it in your house. However, we also have the certification from the teacher where the mother is calling the daughter the same kind of name. So I would go, that's the parents that set that precedent. They're the ones who raised this child. This is the language that they're using in their household.
Are we going to condone or open the gates to a 12-year-old to sue for an Xbox, a 13-year-old to sue for an iPhone, or how about a 15-year-old asking for a 60-inch flat panel TV? I understand the allegations that are raised in this case are far more serious than those types of material goods. But again, I'd like both counsel to be mindful of a potential slippery slope here.
Sensing growing tensions, the judge decided to draw the curtains on the case, denying Rachel's immediate request for financial support and recommending family counseling. In this next absurd case, the prosecutor confronts the judge as he turns his back on justice. Mateo Moore is standing trial in an Ohio courtroom for a murder. Moore had been accused of murdering his wife and then staging it as suicide. He was charged with 1 count of felony murder, 1 count of purposeful murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. The case had been going on for a while, and on day 7, The judge, in the absence of the county prosecutor, decided to proceed with his judgment. However, Mark Sleeper, the prosecutor's colleague, would not let that happen.
No, I'm sorry, but I would object to going forward anyway right now without the elected county prosecutor who's on this case.
But she chose not to be here.
That's not accurate, Judge.
Okay, okay, your objection's noted.
We had a phone status conference 2 weeks ago in which Ms. Schiff will
Your objection is noted. Okay?
I'm not going to participate in this proceeding without the elected county prosecutor. I think this is a sham that you're going forward. When the court was
You're going to sit here. You're going to sit here.
Seeing the judge was not taking his appeal seriously, Sleeper decided to take matters into his own hands.
You were told about her unavailability and specifically told her on the phone not to cancel that appointment, that it wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to be here for the decision, that's your business.
Well, Your Honor, I think this is outrageous. You're going forward without the prosecutor.
The judge was visibly stunned and managed to say a few words.
Prepared my remarks and my decision here today. And I am, I am glad I had the opportunity to spend the night to do some deliberation on this matter and think about it.
Mateo Moore was acquitted by the court of his murder and assault charges and declared a free man.
The court will now announce the verdicts. Verdict on count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment dated the 26th of August, 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 2. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 2 of the indictment dated 26 August 2022 and signed in ink by all 12 members of the panel.